What is going on, Mousetrap? Is that Tesla here bringing you something a little bit different today. We're going to be doing a National Pokemon Battle Association Draft Recap. Now, for those that don't know, I'm in the National Pokemon Association. It's a draft league similar to the GBA, the UCL, and the TBU. But I did enter a second one because Siren6991 talked me into it. They said this one is a showdown one mainly, but I'm hoping I can get to play the matches on my DS instead, or at least some of them anyways. But yeah, anyways, she took over the spot of one of the coaches that dropped out, and there was yet another opening, so she talked me into joining, and I reluctantly joined, I'll admit, because, well, I'm not really a showdown person, but it seems fun because I'm actually liking the draft that we have that I took over. Ironically enough, I took over from the coaches that got that drafted this, and is in the top 5 power rankings draft. Basically, it's one of the top 5 drafts of the league. So it's unfortunate for him that he dropped out because he had a really solid draft, but his loss is my gain. So I'm gonna go over the draft choices and my thoughts and the possibilities of them, and that will be the video basically. My week 1 opponent is going to be against, well, ironically enough, Siren6991, and that will happen this coming week. And the league starts tomorrow. This is Sunday, like today is Sunday. So let's go over the draft choices, shall we? The first draft choice, well, actually I should explain the rules. You get a choice of a Mega, 2 OUs, 2 UUs, 2 RUs, 2 NUs, and 2 PUs, I believe. So basically 2 Pokemon from each tier except for Little Cup, and 1 Mega. And there are trademark Pokemon. I guess what that means is that before the draft they called trademarks on Pokemon, no one else could get it. But yeah. Anyways, my team name for this draft league is not going to be the Houston Raichus. I'm going with the Charlotte Beedrills, as you can see down that corner, like down there. Well, you can't really see my hand. But yeah, it's down in that corner, and I think it's just like a shiny Beedrill behind the Charlotte Beedrills. It's named after, it's based off the Charlotte Hornets, and that was actually the team name that I was going to go with for the Battle Union, but I did not get in. I missed out by 1 vote, which is very, very unfortunate. I'm still kind of salty about that, but well, you know what they always say: when one door closes, another door opens, and we're going to go with this. We're going to roll with the NPBA, and we're going to do our best to take home a championship win, while also competing in the NPA and trying to take home a championship win in that. But I'll be having the NPA Week 9 battle up later on today. I believe it is the Week 9 battle. Anyways, moving on to the actual draft itself. The trademark Pokemon, which is the which is one of the OU Pokemon that the former coach chose, was Scizor. Scizor is a very interesting Pokemon. It's a Bug Steel type. It is OU. It has 3 abilities. Well, yeah, 3 abilities: Swarm, Technician, and Light Metal. Swarm obviously being not useful for Scizor because you prefer to have Technician. Technician boosts moves a base stat power of 60 or less by 30%. No, by 50%. Sorry, that was 30%. By 50%. This is very beneficial for moves like Bullet Punch and Bug Bite and other sort of moves like Aerial Ace. Not that you'll often see Aerial Ace on a Scizor. It does have a Mega Evolution, but that's not the Mega that was drafted in this league on the team that I took over. But Scizor has a variety of uses. It can be used as a defensive defogger, it can be used as a choice band user, it can be used as a life orb attacker, it can be used as a Swords Dance, or if you really want to be creative, you can run it as an AV set, which would be very, very interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using it as an Assault Vest user or not, but this has a lot of interesting moves. It gets Bullet Punch, which is a priority Steel type move. It gets Stab on top of Technician. It gets Pursuit, which can scare out Psychic or Ghost types and use Pursuit and hit them for even more damage. It's access to Agility boosted speed by 2 stages. It's Fury Card, which gets more powerful every time you use it, as long as it's used simultaneously each turn. It gets access to Scizor, Night Slash, Double Hit, which is a move with base 35 that hits twice. Very interesting move. Also gets access to Iron Head. I don't see myself using that. I think I'd rather use Bullet Punch for the Technician boost. It gets Swords Dance. It gets a lot of TMs. It gets Toxic. I don't think I've ever seen someone run a Toxic Scizor before. It gets Roost. It gets Return. It gets Brick Break. Not boosted by Technician. It gets Air Release. That's boosted by Technician. It gets Acrobatics. Also boosted by Technician. It gets Struggle Bug, which is special attacking bug type move. We won't be using that on the Scizor. U-Turn, which can pivot out. It's Rock Smash is a fighting type move that's boosted by Technician. I don't think I'll be running that. I think I'd rather run Superpower. It gets Defog via Breeding, which will clear off entry hazards off both sides of the field. It's very useful. I could use this as my Defogger. I very well could. It gets Knockoff. It gets Superpower. It gets Tailwind. It gets Wing Attack, which gets boosted by Technician. It gets Whip, which is boosted by Technician as well. So, again, I don't see myself using that because it's special attack, and quite frankly, it's a normal type move which has no coverage. But yeah, that's basically the trademark Pokemon that was drafted. Now let's move on to the Mega. The Mega that was drafted was Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is an outstanding Mega. Unfortunately, though, it falls a little behind in the speed tier, but you know, it makes up for it with an immense special attack. It's like base 165 special attack. Base 135 special defense is especially bulky. Doesn't have that great of an HP stat or a defensive stat, but we can work around that. Its ability, Mega Gardevoir's ability is Pixelate. What that does is it turns any normal type move it uses into a fairy type attack, which means it gains stab, same type attack bonus, and then it gives it a 30% boost. So like Hyper Voice will turn into a fairy type move when you're using it with Mega Gardevoir, and Hyper Beam, although you really shouldn't be using Hyper Beam. You get access to Moonblast, but if you're running Mega Gardevoir, you run Hyper Voice and not Moonblast because, well, Hyper Voice gets an extra 30% boost off of Pixelate. It gets Healing Wish. Now, Healing Wish is a very interesting move. What Healing Wish does is it makes the user faint. In return, the Pokemon taking its place will have all of its HP and status cured. So, there you go. It's basically a free revive. Well, not really free revive, a free max potion in Wi-Fi battling for a Pokemon at the cost of itself. It gets access to various coverage moves. It gets Thunderbolt, it gets Energy Ball, it gets Shadow Ball, it gets good stab moves like Psychic and Sun Shock. It gets Will-O-Wisp if you want to burn some physical attackers that will switch into like Scizor and whatnot. It gets Thunder Wave to cripple the opponents and paralyze them. It gets Grassland, although I'd rather run Energy Ball than that. It gets Substitute, you can run a Sub-Calm Mind set. It gets Focus Blast. Not really a fan of that. I think if I wanted to cover my Steel type weaknesses, I'd rather run HP Fire or HP Ground, depending on what the opponent has. You got Screams. You get Toxic. Again, I don't think I'll be running a Toxic Gardevoir. It'd be interesting. You never know. I mean, I could come up with a bunch of creative sets in the league because God knows in the NPBA I ran Safety Goggles, Latias, Steel Brillium, so you never know what I could run. It gets Destiny Bond, it gets Confused Ray, it gets Memento, which means it faints, but they'll harshly lower the opponent's attack and special attack stat. It gets Heal Bell, you can make an excellent cleric. It gets Icy Wind, it gets Magic Coat to bounce away those hazards. It gets Peen Split, it gets Signal Beam, it gets Trick, although if you're running Mega Gardevoir, you're not going to be running Trick because you can't trade off a Mega Stone. It gets Defense Curl, which is weird, but other than that, it's a very good Mega. What it lacks in speed and physical defense, it makes up for its immense attack, special attack and special defense stat. Base 165 special attack is nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, Mega Gardevoir is going to be a very interesting and very deadly Mega in the competition. Already we have like 2/3 of a Steel Fairy Dragon Core, so let's move on to the next draft choice, Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is a fighting type with 3 abilities, all of which are pretty solid abilities in my opinion. We have Gut. The attack is increased by 50% when a status is reduced on the Pokemon. Burn, Paralyze, Sleep, Poison, Freeze. Burns effective lowering attack is not applied, so if you like switch a Conkeldurr in on a Toxic or a Will-O-Wisp or a Thunder Wave, whoa baby, that thing is going to be quite a threat. It's a 50% boost in attack. The next ability is Sheer Force. Moves with secondary effect are increased in power by 33%, but they lose their secondary effect. Stuff like Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, stuff like that that could cause a secondary effect will be boosting power, but the secondary effect will not activate at all. And then Iron Fist, the power punching moves is increased by 20%. That's like Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, stuff like that. So 3 really great abilities. I mean, you never know what set your opponent could bring for a Conkeldurr, although most of the time it is Guts. However, I have ran into like an Iron Fist Conkeldurr in the past, and that was not fun. So I was afraid to Will-O-Wisp it, think it was Guts, and it turned out to be Iron Fist. It gets some awesome moves. It gets Drain Punch, it gets Mach Punch, it gets Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, like I mentioned before. It gets Rock Slide, it gets Earthquake, it gets Stone Edge, it gets Superpower. It gets Rock Tomb, which is not so great. It gets Grass Knot. Now, normally I don't run that on Conkeldurr, but in draft format, it could be interesting if your opponent has like a Swampert or a Gastrodon or a Quagsire on their team. You guess you could run a Gastrodon and make it a mixed attacker, but that's the only time I'd run a special attack in Conkeldurr is draft format. It gets access to Poison Gem. I don't believe it gets access to Gunshot. I might be wrong here. No, it does not get access to Gunshot, looks like, but still, I run Poison Gem with Gunshot, which is accuracy. Also, right moves. Its base attack is 140, its base defense is 95, so we got a fantastic attack and defense stat, a good HP stat with 105. Its special defense is lacking, but you can run Assault Vest on it. That can make it bulkier. Assault Vest Conkeldurr is a big threat. Its base speed is 45. Obviously, it had to lack stats somewhere, and speed is not that important when you have Mach Punch to out-priority everything. So yeah, Conkeldurr is a very great Pokemon. I use it on most of my OU teams as of late. Very deadly Pokemon. Gets walled by Fairy types, but hey, that's a Poison Jab to score, right? Next up is Zygarde. This is actually one Pokemon I have not used competitively at all. It is a ground dragon type. It is a wannabe Garchomp, wannabe Flygon, although it's better than Flygon, but not as great as Garchomp. It has a 100 base attack stat, 121 defense, 95 special defense, 108 HP, and 95 base speed. It has actually really good stats, and special attack isn't that bad. I mean, if you want to make it a mixed attacker, it's somewhat passable, but all the rest of the stats are pretty solid. So let's go over its moves. It has one ability, which is completely useless in singles. It's Aura Break. The effects of Aura abilities are reversed, so basically Wi-Fi and Xerneas' abilities are negated. But that doesn't matter because they're not allowed in draft format or OU, so yeah, we won't be having to worry about Zygarde's ability. It's completely useless. Zygarde has access to stuff like Glare, which intimidates the opponent, making it paralyzed. Basically, this is a normal type Thunder Wave. It will paralyze ground types. Very useful when you want to catch Landos on a switch or something. Has access to Dragon Breath, which is a special attacking dragon type move, which has a chance of paralyzing. Has Bite, not useful. Has Safeguard, which protects all of your Pokemon from status moves. It has Lance Wrap, which is a weaker Earthquake. It has 10 less base power than Earthquake, so I don't know why you use that in singles. It's good in doubles, I'm guessing, but singles is a lot better. There's better options like Earthquake. It has Crunch, has Haze to get rid of statuses, or like stat boosts that the opponent may bring. It has Camouflage, the user type is changed depending on the environment, such as Water's Edge and Grass and Cape. I believe I changed it to normal type in Wi-Fi now. I could be wrong. It has Dragon Dance, so if you want to increase its speed and attack, there you go. It has Coil, which increases defense and attack, so if you don't want to care about being a speedy attacker and you want to make it bulkier on the physically defensive side, you can run Coil instead. It has Extreme Hit, which is the best priority move in the game. Like, it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It's stage 2 priority, meaning it will out-prioritize Sucker Punch, it will out-prioritize Aqua Jet, Bullet Punch, stuff like that. It has 80 base power. It's a normal type move, unfortunately, so it doesn't provide any special super effective coverage. And the only physical Dragon type move that I'm aware that Zygarde gets is Outrage. Now, while it has great 120 base power, the downside of this is A, the user gets confused after 2 to 3 turns of using it, and B, if your opponent has a Fairy type on their team, you're going to get locked into Outrage against it, and that's not a situation you want to be in, so Outrage is a double-edged sword. I generally prefer Dragon Claw, but I guess logically speaking, Zygarde can't use Dragon Claw because it doesn't have claws, although Dodrio can learn Fly and doesn't have any wings, so go figure. Moves that Siren can learn include Toxic, you can learn Earthquake, which is the main move that you want to run on it. It gets Sludge Wave for Fairy types, I guess, if you want to make a mixed Zygarde. That could be a thing, especially in draft form. It gets Focus Blast, not that great. Stone Edge is great. Rock Slide. Dragon Tail is another physical Dragon type move. I didn't include this because I was talking about main Dragon type moves, like stuff that won't force you to go second. Dragon Tail is like Roar or Whirlwind, except it's slightly inaccurate and it does do damage. It does do super effective damage on other Dragon types. It doesn't affect fairies though, obviously. You can go for a substitute Zygarde set, which I figured in the past. That's pretty intimidating. There's Draco Meteor. There's Earth Power, Hyper Voice, Iron Tail. Iron Tail is great for fairy type coverage. It's the only physical physical move that can get to cover fairy types. It's inaccurate, but does Coil raise accuracy? I don't believe it does. Oh yeah, it doesn't increase accuracy. So there you go. You can run Iron Tail with Coil. I don't know why I forgot that. I feel kind of dumb for that. But regardless, it gets Iron Tail Outrage. It gets Pain Split of all things, which is very interesting. I'm gonna have to toy around with that in the draft league. It gets Shockwave, which is not useful because that's a weak special attack. And Zygarde is mainly a physical attacker. It gets Superpower and Zen Headbutt, which is awesome actually. Really good stuff there. So very happy with this pick. Haven't used it competitively. Looking forward to using it in the draft league. I don't know what weeks I'll be using it in, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of sets I can come up for it. Next up is Rotem Heat. Rotem Heat is a fire electric type. It is one of the Rotom forms. Now, everyone who saw my NPBA video knows that I love Rotom Wash. My National Pokemon Association draft analysis. That was like the first Pokemon I picked up, I believe, or one of the first two. But Rotom Wash is already picked, so this guy picked Rotom Heat. And you know what? I'm actually really happy with this. This is my second favorite Rotom form because of its viability. You got stuff like Discharge, Trick, you can run Choice Scarf set, you can run a physically defensive set with Will-O-Wisp. You got some Confuse Ray, you got some Shockwave, which is not useful. You got Substitute, Electro Ball, Hex. I mean, if you want to, status stack your opponent and run Hex to do more damage, there's that. You got Charge. It boosts power Legend type moves used in the next turn. It also raises special defense stat, so that's interesting. You get stuff like Toxic, Hidden Power if you want to run a offensive Rotom Heat. I know one of my Yu-Yu teams I ran back then when I had Hidden Power Grass on Rotom Heat to deal Swampers. We got some screens like Light Screens and Reflect. You got Shadow Ball. It gets Charge Beam to increase its special attack each turn. It's like a electric type version of Fire Dance. It gets Volt Switch, Thunder Wave. It gets Substitute again, as I mentioned. It gets Dark Pulse. It gets Signal Beam. It gets Foul Play, which is interesting. It gets Pain Split. Its main attack is Overheat. That is its as a move exclusive to its form. The Ice type Rotom gets Blizzard. Rotom Wash gets Hydro Pump. Rotom Heat gets Overheat. Rotom Mo gets Leaf Storm, and Rotom Fang gets Air Slash. So those are their main elemental moves. That's exclusive to them. It gets Sucker Punch, which is a transfer move. I don't know why I'd run Sucker Punch. It goes for that random priority, but other than that, whoops, I did not mean to show off my Skype. I'll have to redo this. Hopefully I did not show off my Skype combos. Anyways, yeah, moving on. Next draft pick was Tentacruel. So, we have the Steel Fairy Dragon Core. Scizor being the Steel type, Gardevoir being the Fairy type, and Zygarde being the Dragon type. We have 2/3 of a Fire Water Grass Core, Rotom Heat being the Fire type, and Tentacruel being the Water type. Will we get a Grass type? We'll find out a little bit later. But in the meantime, let's go over Tentacruel. Tentacruel is useful. It gets access to lots of different moves, like Knock Off. It's a Poison Water type. 3 abilities. Clear Body. Opponent's moves that lower stats have no effect. Liquid Ooze. When the opponent absorbs hit points in this Pokemon, the opponent loses hit points instead. So you can switch it in on a Giga Drain or a Drain Punch and it'll lose HP instead. I think it works on Leech Seed. Not exactly sure. And its hit ability is Rain Dish. If heavy rain weather is in effect, recovers 116 max hit points at the end of the turn. I don't have any rain setters really. Well, I do have a couple of rain setters, but they're not use for rain setting. So obviously I'm not going to be running on Rain Dish. That's definitely not going to happen. It gets access to Reflect type through XY level up and ORS level up, so you just need a hard skill for that. Gets access to Supersonic, gets Toxic Spikes to Hazard Stack and whatnot. Water Pulse, Acid Spray. It lowers the opponent's special defense stat partially, so that's about like 2 stages. He gets Poison Jab, really not really going with physical attacks on unless it's a knockoff. He gets Brine, he gets Sludge Wave, excellent stab move, he gets Hydro Pump. He gets Toxic, he gets Venom Shock, and you can run Toxic Spikes and Venom Shock to really do damage to the opponent. He gets Ice Beam, he gets Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb. He gets Swords Dance, interesting. If you run a physical Tentacruel, I guess. He gets Dazzling Gleam, it's a fairy type move. Base 80 power, not bad. Gets Knockoff, like I mentioned. Mirror Coat, if you want to run an Assault Vest bulky Tentacruel, you can fire back with Mirror Coat when someone uses a special attack against you. He gets Rapid Spin for Hazard Control, so there's another Hazard Controller I can run. He gets Tickle, which actually reduces the opponent's attack and defense stat, that's interesting. It gets Giga Drain to hit those Rhyperiors and such. It gets Icy Wind, which lowers the opponent's speed, though I'd rather run Ice Beam so they're not doing doubles. It gets Whirlpool, not very useful. It has base 70 attack, base 80 special attack. It's not being really used offensively, more of a rapid spinner with utility. It has 100 base speed, which is nice. It has a good speed stat. Excellent special defense. Passable HP. Not that great physical defense, but Bull Nature and defense EVs can really help that. So, excellent rapid spin we got here. Excellent water type. I'm very happy with this. Really happy with the draft so far. Not gonna lie, like stupidly happy about it. Next up we got Aerodactyl. It's not Mega Aerodactyl, it's just regular Aerodactyl. It's still a fucking speedy ass Pokemon and has like 3 abilities. Has Rockhead, does not receive recoil for recoil causing damages. Unfortunately, Aerodactyl does not have access to, I believe, Head Smash or Brave Bird, so the ability is useless on it in my opinion. I mean, I guess you can run Takedown, but that's not very ideal. He gets Pressure. When this opponent is hit by move, the opponent's PP is lowered by 2 instead of 1. Very good to PP to control the power points of their opponent's Pokemon. And Unnerve. The opponent's Pokemon will never use their Held Berry while this Pokemon is in battle. So, Pressure and Unnerve are definitely the 2 abilities that are useful on this Pokemon. I won't be using Rockhead in my Aerodactyl. Definitely won't be. Has access to the 3 elemental things, Ice Thing, Fire Thing, and Thunder Thing. Now, on Mega Aerodactyl, these are useful because of Tough Claws. It's not that useful on regular Aerodactyl, but it's still a decent coverage. It has access to Iron Head, can hit Rock types and Fairy types super effectively. It has Super Sight, not that useful. It has Wing Attack, which is Stab, but still not that useful. It gets Agility, not that it needs it. I mean, Aerodactyl is already super fast. It gets Crunch, it gets Takedown, like I mentioned, that can be boosted by Rockhead, but still, I won't be running Takedown nor Rockhead on this. It gets Rock Slide. It gets Home Claws, raises its attack and accuracy, so Stone Edge and Rock Slide become a little bit more accurate. It gets Roar, it gets Dragon Claw, it gets Taunt. You want to stop people from setting entry hazards or using Will-O-Wisp for whatnot. It gets Smackdown, which will basically knock Levitating and Flying things down so you can strike them with Earthquake. It gets Earthquake, really powerful move right there, good coverage move. It gets Flamethrower. I guess you can run a mixed Aerodactyl if you really want to. I'm really afraid of Zero Thorns. Gets Fire Blast, gets Aerial Ace, gets Rock Tomb. It gets Sky Drop. Usually take the target in the sky and drops it the next turn. The target cannot attack while it's in the sky. I believe this will not work on Snorlax. I'm pretty sure I was told it wouldn't work. It's Rock Push again, not that you need the speed increase. It gets Strength, but no one's gonna run that. Egg moves are Assurance. If the target is already taking some damage at the same turn, this attack power is doubled. I believe it's only useful if you're going second, so won't be using that. Curse, we don't want to lower speed. Giant Breath, a special attack. I'm not really going to run special attacks on Aerodactyl. Pursuit is a nice one. You can trap those psychic types that are exploding, like the Lattes. If they try to switch out, it'll do more damage. Roost recovers HP. Tailwind is great because it can actually make your other team members faster than their opponent for like 4 turns. Whirlwind, Whirlwind, Roar, Dragon Tail, I only see useful on bulky Pokemon that can take hits to roar out the opponents when using stat changes, so not so much useful. Aquatail is good coverage move. A couple of home claws. He gets Dragon Pulse, Earth Power, Heat Wave. If I want to go mix, can run those. It's Iron Tail. I'd rather run Iron Head. I mean, granted, Iron Tail has more base attack, but if I'm not running Home Claw set, I might as well go with Iron Head for accuracy's sake. You get Stealth Rock. Good access to Stealth Rock. It gets access to Defog. Though I most likely will not be using it as a Defogger on my team. But if I want to run a defensive Aerodactyl, that's always an option. It gets Ominous Wind, Air Cutter, Twister, Headbutt, Double Edge, Mimic, Endure Swift. Really good Pokemon. Base 105 attack, not that high in attack, but has base 130 speed. Speed ties with Jolteon, so really good Pokemon right here. It's pretty frail in defense and special defense. It has decent HP. It's mainly used because of speed. It might be used as a Sash Roxetta for me, or it could be used as Abandoned Aerodactyl. Never know what I might decide to run on it. It's a very solid Pokemon though, all around. Rock Flying type. Weak to Electric, Ice, Water, Steel, and Rock. There might be one other type that's weak to, but I can't think off the top of my head. The next Pokemon that was drafted was yet another Water type. No Grass type so far. And no, this next Pokemon is not Ludicolo. But no Grass type so far, but yet another Water type. Jellicent, a bulky Pokemon. Let's go over this. Water Absorb. Heals up to 1/4 of its maximum hit points when hit with a Water type move. Curse By, when a move makes contact with a Pokemon, that move has a 30% chance of getting disabled. Unfortunate for choice users. And its hit ability is Damp. Explosion and Self-Destruct will not work while this Pokemon is on the field. Not useful. Damp is not useful because you want your opponent to use Self-Destruct and Explosion when this is on the field. So they kill themselves. I don't believe they kill themselves while it's Damp out. So that is an ability I definitely will not be bringing on my Jellicent. Has access to the Water Spout, which is basically the water type version of Eruption. The more HP you have, the higher damage it does. It starts out as base 150 power, but the more HP goes down, the less powerful it becomes. Has Absorb Night, so Nightshade is okay. I mean, it inflicts damage matching the user's level. Since generally we go by level 50 rules and Wi-Fi, it'll do 50 damage right off the bat. It gets Recover, good recovery right there. It gets Water Pulse, Ominous Wind for stab. It's Brine. It's Hydro Pump, it's Water Spout again, Hex, again like Rotem Heat, want to, inflict stats and your opponent do more damage, you can run Hex alongside Will-O-Wisp for Toxic. Tico Toxic, it gets that, it gets Taunt, it gets Ice Beam, it gets Psychic even, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb, interesting, deal those grass types I suppose, it gets Energy Ball, it gets Will-O-Wisp. It gets Dreamer, I don't think it gets any moves to put your opponent to sleep. It gets Dazzling Gleam and Dark Pulse. It gets Confused Ray, it gets Acid Armor to raise its defense sharply. It gets Pain Split. It gets Magicoat to bounce back statuses and entry hazards that opponent might bring out. It gets Shockwave, it gets Trick. You might want to write a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs Jellicent, that could be a thing. Has base 100 HP, excellent HP stat. Not so great in the defense stat. Decent special attack, but again, it's not really used as an offensive Pokemon. It's more used as support to inflict statuses on your opponent and such. Good special defense, subpar speed. It's a bulky Pokemon, a great HP stat and great special defense stat, so definitely something to keep an eye out for. Water Ghost, interesting typing. Weak to Electric, Dark, Ghost, and Grass. Yeah. The next Pokemon that was drafted was Lil Again. Yes! We have our Fire, Water, Grass core. We have Rotem Heat, we have Tentacruel / Jellicent, and we have Lil Again. Lil Again is a quick grass type. It has 3 abilities. Chlorophyll. When sighted, the Pokemon speed doubles. However, speed will not double in turn the weather becomes strong sunlight. It has own tempo. This Pokemon cannot be confused while having this ability. Eat your heart out, Confused Ray users. It has Leaf Guard. Protects the opponent, prevents the opponent from receiving stats during strong sunlight. Chlorophyll and Leaf Guard are only useful on Sun teams. I don't really have any intention of running any Sun setters in my draft league team, so obviously those 2 abilities are out. You can bet your ass I'll be running own tempo though, because that makes it so Pedal Dance will not confuse you. Growth increases attack and special defense. Leech Seed can set with the user opponent's health. It gets Exit Synthesis, which is instant recovery. It gets Teeter Dance. Confuses the opponent's Pokemon. Quiver Dance is like, you've seen me use Quiver Dance in my Volcarona before. Increases special attack, special defense, and speed. Really good move. Petal Dance, base 120 power, 100 accuracy move. The user attacks the target by scattering petals for 2 to 3 turns. The user then becomes confused. The only problem with Petal Dance is it does make contact even though it's a special attack. So you can get, you are at risk for taking a Flame Bite, Poison Point, or a Static user. Not really anything to worry about too much because, again, Lil Again is a special attacker, so good. Flame Bite Pokemon, it's not that bad, except residual damage can be pretty annoying. Pell Blizzard is a base 90 physical attack. We're not going to be using a physical Lil Again, definitely not. It gets access to Toxic, gets access to Hidden Power. Sunny Day, I mean, I guess if I want to be creative, run a sun-based Lil Again. That's the thing. Gets access to Light Screens. It's access to Solar Beam, again, only in the sun, only vital in the sun. It's access to Energy Ball. I'm going to prefer Petal Dance over that because there's no downside to using Petal Dance, except for being locked into it for 2 to 3 turns. Gets Grass Knot. Doesn't get anything else of note by TM. It gets Healing Wish. Now, I've said it. Now, with Gardevoir, Healing Wish, it faints and fully restores a team member, basically. Ingrain, it's basically usually except it doesn't stop your opponent's health, it just heals him. Sweet Scent, which is useless in competitive battling, don't use it. It gets after you. The user helps the target and makes its uses move right after he uses. I don't know. It's Heal Bell, so it can be used as a cleric. There we go. Heal Bell Lil Again. Roleplay, the user mimics the target completely, copying the target's natural ability. Could be useful if you want to, you know, copy a Volt Absorb or Lightning Rod Pokemon. Though I don't think you'd really use an electrical attack on Lil Again unless you're Volt switching out. So that's not gonna be not much of a thing. It gets a track. It gets Absorb, Sleep Powder. Puts the opponent to sleep while you set with Quiver Dances. The Sunstroke can paralyze the opponent. Gets Giga Drain, coffee. Well, gets some HP back. Aromatherapy. Again, another cleric move. Same thing as Heal Bell, basically. Gets Sunny Day after you Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm is more powerful than Petal Dance, but has less accuracy. I don't think I'll be using that. Lil Again's HP set is meh. Its attack is obviously booty because it's a special attacker. Its defense and special defense are meh. The one thing that it's going for is its 110 base special attack and its 90 base speed. So, it's just a fast special sweeper, not meant to be bulky, is what it comes down to. So, I'm very glad that I do have a Water, Fire, Grass score and a Steel Dragon Fairy card. So, I'm very excited about this draft. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Another Roxetta, Milting. I use this on my RU team. It has 3 abilities: Thick Fat, Scrappy, and Sap Sipper. None of them are terrible, but generally I will prefer to use Thick Fat or Scrappy. Thick Fat makes it so fire and ice type moves deal 50% less damage. Scrappy allows the opponent to hit through ghost type moves and normal type and fighting type attacks, so you can slide and toss ghost types all you want. And Sap Sipper, attack is raised by 1 stage when the opponent is hit by a grass type move. The user receives no damage from grass type attacks, so like Sleep Powder, Sun Spore, Leech Seed, Giga Drain, stuff like that. It's Tackle Growl, Defense Growl, not useful. Milk Drink, is this form of recovery. It's Bite, I mean, if you run a really bulky one, it acts as a 2-turn counter, like it'll store up damage for like 2 turns while unleash on the opponent. If it's Body Slam, has a chance to paralyze the opponent, normal type move. Useful against ground types. Zen Headbutt, covers fighting types, I guess. Gyro Ball, not really that useful because Miltank surprisingly is pretty fast. Heal Bell can act as a cleric, fantastic. Gets stuff like Toxic, gets Ice Beam, you're not gonna run that though. Gets like Thunderbolt, Thunder, yeah, not useful. It gets Earthquake, that'll be useful on it. It gets Rock Tomb, it gets Sandstorm. It gets Retaliate, it gets Thunder Wave, one of my favorite moves to use, not one of my favorite moves to go up against. It gets Surf, that's weird. It gets Belch, the user lets out a damaging belch on the target. The user must eat a berry to use this move. It gets Curse, lowers its speed, increases attack and defense. It gets Double Edge, it gets Hammer, it gets Heart Stamp, which is a second type move that could flinch. It gets Seismic Toss. It's like Nightshade, only normal, only fighting type. Can't really affect Ghost types unless you have Scrappy. Gets Fire Punch, gets Heal Bell, gets Ice Punch, gets Iron Head, gets Stealth Rock, there's a Roxetta, like I mentioned before we went into this Pokemon. Gets Thunder Punch, gets Zen Headbutt. For transfer only moves, it gets Mega Punch, Mega Kick, Counter, Mimic, Metronome, Dynamic Punch, Headbutt, Workup. It has base 95 HP, decent HP stat, 80 attack, not too bad. 105 defense, pretty good. 40 special attack, booty. 70 special defense, not so great. 100 base speed. So it's mainly a physically defensive Pokemon. But you can make it mixed defensive with your EVs. Yeah, good solid Pokemon. Our next draft pick is actually something that was kind of ironic. So I went into the draft not knowing really, or I took the draft position on the person who dropped out, not knowing what was on his draft. And ironically enough, I just happened to get the draft that had my streaming mascot, Raichu. Oh, what can I say about this? It's ironic. I actually get to use a Raichu. I actually have a reason to use one against Oyunmons. But yeah, it's very ironic they got Raichu. You got the draft with the Raichu. So, Stack and Lightning Rod, 2 abilities. Stack has 30% chance of paralyzing the opponent. It makes physical contact, and Lightning Rod. Electric attacks are drawn to this Pokemon. Electric type moves will do no damage, and the opponent's special attack stage will be raised by 1. If the opponent's ground type moves are drawn to it, but it gets no boost. Well, Raichu is a electric type, so we don't have to worry about the no boost part. It gets access to like Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Focus Blast, Hidden Power, Grass Knot, which is useful for type coverage. It gets access to light screens, and I believe reflect. No reflect, just light screens. Gets access to Rain Dance. Gets Toxic. I don't think I've ever seen a Toxic Raichu. It gets Disarming Voice, not useful. It gets Charge, to boost its special defense stat. It's Encore, which can lock the opponent to one move if they're trying to set up on your Raichu. It gets Fake Out, which gives them free damage. It gets Thunder Punch, it gets Wish, interesting. It gets Volt Tackle for breeding, awesome. It gets Electro Web. I'm not sure how Raichu can produce a Spider Web, but I will not judge. It gets Iron Tail, it gets Knock Off, fantastic, knock off those EV lights and such. Magnet Rise, to basically make it immune to electric type attack. I mean, not electric, ground type attack. It's Signal Beam, this Electro Ball, Thunder Wave, Discharge, Wild Charge, Agility, Nasty Plot, nice, raises special attack by 2 stages. So if you want it to be a special sweeper, there you go. Let's see. And that's basically it. It does get Surf for an event though. So if you want a water type move, you don't want to run Hidden Power Water, you just run Surf. Sadly though, you'll probably be locked into having Static as its ability, so no electric type pivoting for you. But base 60 HP, not great. 90 base attack, decent. 55 defense, not so great. 90 special attack, good. 80 special defense, decent. 110 speed, very good. Loving the speed stat on Raichu. Yeah, it's my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. It's always been my favorite Pokemon. It's my streaming mascot, so I find it really ironic how I have one in the draft I picked up. Next up is our Maldo here. A rock bug type. Very interesting typing there. Battle armor. Opponent's moves cannot critical hit. Swift swim. When raided, the opponent's speed doubles. I don't know why I keep saying the opponent. I'm so used to filling Wi-Fi bells instead of use draft analysis. Power speed will not double in the turn weather becomes heavy rain. It gets moves like Crush Claw, which is base 75, 95 accuracy. Gets Harden, which increases its defense stat, not that useful. Gets Fury Car. The move gets powerful each turn is used simultaneously. Gets Rock Blast, which is a multi-hit move. Base 25 power, 90 accuracy. It gets Scizor, good stab move right there. Gets stuff like gets Home Claws, Toxic. Gets Earthquake, really good type coverage move. Gets Brick Break, gets Rock Tomb, Aerial Ace, not that useful. Gets Rock Punch, it raises speed by 2 stages. Gets Sword Dance, raises attack by 2 stages. Can run a Sweeper one if I wanted to. Gets Rock Slide, does it get Stone Edge? Yes it does. It gets Flash Cannon, not useful because it's mainly a physical attacker. As far as egg moves go, it gets Aqua Jet for priority, I guess. Cross Poison, nice. Gets Knockoff, Rapid Spin. It gets access to Aqua Tail, Bug Bite, Earth Power. Again, not useful because they're not really going to run a special attacking one. Knockoff, Low Kick, Stealth Rock. There, it can be a Rock Setter if I wanted to. Superpower. Transfer moves. Gets Endure, I guess. Not that useful. Gets Body Slam, decent. Sun Toss, okay. I guess. You want to wear down your opponent with Toxic and Seismic Toss, there you go. Its stats are okay. 75 HP, not that great. 1.5 base attack though. Digging the attack stat. Base 100 defense, digging the defense stat. 70 special attack, not so great. 80 special defense, decent. 45 speed, kind of not that great. It's really bad. It's mainly used as a bulky spinner. But who knows, I could run a Trick Room game for some reason, I don't know. And use this as a sweeper. It does get lots of interesting moves like Earthquake and such, so it's definitely something to take into consideration that I could run it as a sweeper if I really want to. Has a good priority move in Aqua Jet too. Basically, Maldo's weaknesses are Rock, Steel, and Water. So that's about it, really. It's hit neutrally by flying. So that's pretty much the draft. I'm really excited to try out these Pokemon in the draft league, but some of them I've not used competitively, like Zygarde. Well, actually I've used everything competitively except for Zygarde, so I'm not out of my realm here. I used Scizor in my OU teams, used Mega Gardevoir before, I used Conor in my OU teams currently, have not used Zygarde, used Rotem Heat in the past, Tentacruel, Aerodactyl, well, Mega at least, haven't used regular Aerodactyl, but not much different. Lil Again I've used before in the past, Miltank and Raichu, and Maldo I use on my Mono Bug team, so pretty much everything except for Zygarde I've used and I've experience with, so I have the option of making 2 swaps with Pokemon that are available. Strangely enough in the draft league, the Lotties were not drafted, and I do want a Lottie, however, I am really finding it hard to let any of these Pokemon go. Like, you have to drop a Pokemon from the same tier that you want to pick up from. So I have to drop an OU Pokemon to pick up a Lottie. And I don't want to drop Scizor or Conor. It's really frustrating because I really want the Lottie, but I'm most likely going to keep the draft the same as is now and not pick anything up. Because I am digging it so far. I mean, I have a Dragon Steel Fairy Core. I have a a Fire Water Grass Core. It has the works. It's really a powerful draft. And, you know, you might as well leave well enough alone. That's the old saying here. So basically, I'm really comfortable with this draft, and I'm looking forward to the draft league. Hopefully, I can get some 3DS matches in. I don't really want to play Showdown, but if I have to play Showdown for this league specifically, I will. Generally, I will only play 3DS. So for those who want to, I will not battle you on Showdown. But anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to see more of these draft analysis and whatnot. And remember to support the Charlotte Beedrills. We're not the Houston Raichus draft league, we're the Charlotte Beedrills. The logo is of course made by my lovely girlfriend Sarah, aka Sarah6991, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys all enjoy it. Once again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I will catch you on the flip side. And remember, stay salty, Rage Bears. Stay salty. Whoop, whoop.